What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover just about everything, and today we are reacting to Imagine by John Lennon and covered by Geoff Castellucci right here. Excited for this one. I like the Beatles. I like John Lennon. I like Geoff. I like Imagine. Seems like a recipe for success if you ask me. So let's get right into it. Is this inside of Geoff's home? It's a nice place. I was just wondering, did they film it inside Geoff's place, or is this somewhere else? It doesn't look like a set, is what I'm getting at. This doesn't look like a studio. It's too much detail. It looks like a real place to me.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's easy if you try.
Right off the bat, he's holding on just a little bit longer. John Lennon, imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. He doesn't hold on to it that long. Heaven in particular, he's just he hits heaven and he moves on. Geoff holding on to it longer than Lennon did.
It's easy if you
Go back a little bit further right there.
imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no heaven. I think it's a little bit more closer. Obviously, I'm no John Lennon, but it's heaven. It's much quicker. He might hold on to the no a little bit. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's definitely a little quicker. So already quick, we have difference from the original here.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
I like this. It's different than Lennon's, but it's still very heartfelt, and it's almost slower, which I didn't really expect coming into this, because Imagine's not a fast-paced song to begin with. But he is holding on to this just a little bit longer than Lennon did. Each word really sounded out, really taking his time with it. And I think that's a good choice for a song like this.
Oh, living for today.
Hey. Also didn't have that little bit at the end there. Now, I don't know if Lennon does that at the end of every verse, but it's certainly a staple for Imagine. Geoff elected not to go with that, which I think is fine. Again, this is Geoff's version. This is his cover. He's obviously taken some liberties to give it his own style, his own flair, and I think so far it is a beautiful, beautiful cover.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too.
It has to be said, coming into an election year for us here in the U.S., song's very appropriate. It would be very nice if everyone just got along and everything could just be fine all the time. Unfortunately, that's not the world that we live in, but I think particularly when tensions are high during an election year and people get caught up in the news and the stories of it all, it's very easy to forget a little bit of our humanity, you know. So I think this is right on time from Geoff here, honestly.
Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion to imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Man, the movement in his voice during low notes like that, for me personally, is a really difficult thing to do. It's not always hard to go down and hit a low note and to find that bass. It's hard to hit that low note because it's breathy. There's a lot of air. To hit that low note and then to still wiggle with it to kind of go up and down a little bit. Listen to his breath control as he does that. Like, you can really hear it. You can hear it hanging on to those words as he kind of moves. Just listen.
You may say I'm a dreamer.
Right there at the end of Dreamer, he drops it. I mean, it's just at the tail end. He drops into just this breathy kind of sigh that's not only appropriate for the song, but it also is just technically like a really awesome thing to hear. Like, it just sounds so nice. And you guys know I'm no vocal coach or anything like that, but even to the layman, I can hear this and recognize the talent behind it. It's amazing.
But I'm not the only one.
He does so much with that one. There's so much movement in there. I've sang a little bass in church. This is not a real easy thing to do. Now, Geoff can get a lot lower than I can, so what he considers low and what I consider low would be two different things. If he really dropped his register super, super low on his scale, maybe he wouldn't be able to move it that much. But I know for me personally, when I get down low, I have to focus more on trying to hold the note, but he's not only able to hold low notes, but also move up and down the scale just a little bit as he goes through it. That to me is crazy.
But I'm not the only one.
This is shot beautifully, by the way.
And I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
This is really pretty. It's really pretty. This is a great rendition of John Lennon's Imagine. That right there, let me tell you, something's about to happen right here. But let me tell you, there's something I think that's also very much Geoff's own personal flavor right here. If you listen to this second one that comes in. That right there, that one doesn't sound like everything has sounded like John Lennon's Imagine. Everything, even though there's obvious differences, if you were to do a side-by-side comparison, there's a lot of obvious differences, but everything has been to the similar tune and flow as Imagine, but that had a hint of country music twang into it. That there was something there that really reminded me, and I would have to go back and listen to some of that old early 2000s, late 90s country music era to really pinpoint what artist it is. Alan Jackson comes to mind. I'm not sure that that's who it actually is, though. But there's something about that one that is very country western sounding. did not expect the synth. I did not expect that at all. This took a whole nother direction here. It's a little bit of a pickup. I don't know if they're just tightly layering his voice with other takes, like if he did multiple takes and they're just compacting it all in a real tight layering, or if that's actually like a little bit of synthetic sound that they're giving it here. Very, very different for Geoff. We've seen voice play and maybe even Geoff use a little bit of synthetic in the past, sort of an auto-tune. Not I hesitate to say auto-tune because I think it often comes with sort of a negative connotation. But there is a little bit of that synthetic sound there. No need for greed or hunger. It's a really interesting choice. The brotherhood of man. Whoa, imagine all the people. I like that. Interesting sound on this second verse. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. The beginning of it is super synthetic, to my ear anyway. That's what it sounds like to me. And then he breaks away from it, and I think that part in particular is very beautiful. But there's still this synthetic music sort of sound in the background there. So you can hear it here in his voice. And then right there he breaks away from it. He's going to break away from it and stay away from it. It's just going to be pure Geoff. But still in the background you're getting little splashes of this techno-ish sound. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. It's subtle. It's just little stuff here in the background. It's very interesting. I really particularly like this part. And I think it probably sounds like I don't, but I really actually really like it. It's just not what I expected at all. I'm not sure how I feel about the parts where Geoff is layered and it's attached to his voice. But once he comes out of that, for this part right here, it's a bit of a crescendo. I actually really, really dig it. It's very impactful. His voice is really earnest, and I think everything is really coming together here. I quite like it. Whoa, imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say dreamer, but I'm not the only one, and I hope someday you will join us. Wow. And the world will live as one. And the world will live as one. Oh man, I don't know. Well done, Geoff. Good job. Beautiful piano, also. Beautiful. That's awesome. Okay, so how did I feel about it? I loved it. I think this is a great cover of Imagine. My only complaint is when the synthetic sound mixes with Geoff's voice. And it's only because I don't think he needs it. I'm not sure exactly what they were going for. Typically, all the decisions that voice play makes with a song, I can put myself in the headspace and understand where they're coming from. I don't know if they thought it was just an interesting sound to add. I would love to know exactly why that decision was made. I really liked it when Geoff broke away from it and we got Geoff's natural voice with still the kind of synthetic sound in the background mixed in with the music a little bit. I still really, really liked it then. And again, I think the cover is fantastic. It's very, very good. Certainly one that I'll be listening to again. It's just a little interesting, the parts where they decided to mix it with Geoff's voice. And I'm very curious as to why they decided to do that. It wasn't always awful or anything like that, just not, I suppose, my own personal preference. Those are my thoughts. I'll be very interested to hear how you felt about this cover in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, make sure you hit the bell icon if you're not subscribed. If you haven't hit the bell yet, make sure you do that. That way you know when I drop a reaction. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. This has been One Man's Opinion. Thanks.